Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening. Welcome to the June 28th, 2023 City of Springfield License Commission meeting. I call the meeting to order at 5:31 p.m. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the Springfield Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, June 14. Did everyone have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions, changes needed? Anyone? Okay, I make a motion to approve the minutes for the Springfield Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, June 14, 2023.
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, first item on informational hearings is Loophole Brewing Company located at 5159 Taylor Street. Event planner Jeffrey P. Collette. Social networking dates of every Thursday from July 13th, 2023 through September 14th, 2023 from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Who is here for Loophole?
I am here, Jeff Goulet.
Okay, can you tell us what is the your event? Can you talk to us a little bit more about it?
Sure. Yeah, it's going to be an event held between 4 and 7 o'clock. It's in the Duryea Way park that is in between Worthington Street and Taylor Street. We'll be having a variety of different events every single week, having different groups coming to that event. I saw Chris Thompson on here as well. He's going to be part of the first week, and actually Ray Berry as well. Hopefully for the local sports teams. We're going to have the Starfires there. We'll have the Pioneer Soccer, the Mutiny, all of the local sports teams, and the associated beverages that are with those teams as well. Every single week it varies. We'll have a week for the veterans. We're going to have a Bring Your Dog to the Park week. We're going to have a summer, hot days of summer event, halfway to St. Patrick's Day. So every week there'll be a different theme associated with it, and we'll have different groups attending at that time.
Okay. So what is the age group that you're expecting?
This should be 21 plus.
21 plus. And is there a way, what do you plan on doing to make sure that you're not serving anybody under 21?
Yeah, we are working with the Springfield bid, and we have security gates, the bicycle style racking that'll block off the north and south entrances to Duryea Way, and have people there checking IDs and putting on ID bracelets for anyone that wishes to drink.
Okay, and in the event that someone tries to leave that area with, how are you serving? Do you have colored cups? How are you serving, and how are you controlling the possibility of people trying to leave the area?
Again, with the security gate and the people that are there putting on the ID bracelets, they'll be there blocking that area and the exit areas to that park. And there are buildings surrounding the other sides of that. So it's a secure location.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners?
Yes.
We got a color coded map that isn't printed in color, so it doesn't, I see the squiggly lines at either end, and those are the bicycle racks.
Yes.
And then did you say that the people who are checking IDs are those tip certified people?
Yes.
Okay. And
All of the staff is tip certified.
so nobody under 21 will be allowed into this area?
That's my plan, yes,
Are you serving non-alcoholic beverages?
yes.
And do you plan on, or what we would request is that the non-alcoholic beverage be served in a different color cup than the alcoholic beverage, which I assume is going to be beer, right? So if you're serving wine or lemonade or something, put that in a green cup and the beer in a red cup.
Accommodate for that, sure. No
Okay.
problem.
Okay, and so nobody can enter without a wristband and nobody can leave with a cup of beer in their hand.
True.
Correct.
Any other questions?
What are you providing for security? Are you having a private company or the Springfield Police Department?
Springfield Police Department.
How
Yeah,
many-
we will have police detail every week.
How many you plan on having present?
No less than 2. The detail will be assigned by the detail office. They'll determine the need and they'll schedule appropriately, but no less than 2.
Okay,
So there'll be one at each end? Or they're gonna wander around or?
Well,
Yeah.
it'll be a one at each end for sure. If there's more, somebody will wander around.
Okay,
And aside of having the police detail, you're going to have other security personnel, or who exactly is going to be checking IDs and making sure no one leaves with a drink?
That'll be our staff
Your
from
staff.
the brewing.
Okay, I'm sorry,
just to
Peter, I
be-
think you had another question.
well, Duryea Way is Springfield Park Department property. Do you have permission from the Springfield Park Department to use Duryea Way?
Yes, I'll speak to that. We have permission from the Parks Department already. I have all of the permits signed and signed off. And I'm not sure if you're aware, this program was actually something that is supported and funded by an ARPA grant that was just awarded to layer in additional programming to support the dining area. So specifically, this event will be a 5 to 7-ish, so that people will ebb and flow from this event into restaurants. So yes, we do have all of the park permits signed off on already.
Great.
Good. Any other questions?
No.
No, okay. Then I make a motion to approve the Loophole Brewery Company located at 5159 Taylor Street event planner, Jeffrey B. Goulet, social networking dates of every Thursday from July 13th, 2023 through September 14, 2023 from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Second,
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you and good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you all. Have
Good
a
night.
lovely evening.
You too.
Thank you.
You as well.
Okay, then we have the second item is the Westfield Starfires located at 181 Notre Dame Street. Event planner Christopher Thompson, Springfield Summer Classic, dates of July 30th, 2023 from 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Chris, that's
Good
you.
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for having me. So the Westfield Starfires, which I founded in 2019, we're celebrating our 5th anniversary season. We play out of Bullens Field in Westfield. And we are partnering with the city of Springfield to celebrate the Springfield Summer Classic at Walker Memorial Grandstand in Forest Park. We have college players from around the country come to Western Massachusetts each summer to play for the Starfires. And we're hosting a game playing the Pittsfield Suns, who play out of Wacona Park in the Berkshires. That game is going to be at 4 p.m. in Forest Park. And the event activities will kick off with a clinic where the players are going to be in the fields with the John L. Sullivan League and also area youths within the community. We're gonna have face painters. The sheriff's department is gonna be on board with the horses. We have the Frank Manzi Band will be performing in the afternoon. That all kicks off about 1:30, with the game being at 4 p.m. And the city and ourselves are partnering with White Lion, who Ray Berry is on the call here today to talk more about the the alcohol on the premises. We do have a approval and a permit from the City Parks Department, which we met last month. And I guess I can throw it off to Ray for the specifics of serving and the protocols.
Thank you, Chris. Greetings, commissioners, representatives of the Springfield Police Department. I think it's a great event, and we're honored to be part of the conversation. Like any other event, we are diligent in ensuring that all pourers are tip certified, that we have a controlled environment, that we bifurcate or have color-coded cups for beverages that are served through wine or beer, and then non-alcoholic beverages. Obviously, it is clear this is a family-friendly event, and there will be people under the age of 21 participating in this good event for the city of Springfield and the Starfires. So we'll be overly diligent in the controlled environment. It is also my understanding, and Chris can correct me if I'm wrong, there will be police officers on premise. We will utilize their expertise and their eyes in addition to the experience and eyes of our own personnel. So we look forward to, through the commission's approval, to work with the Starfires and provide wine and beer the day of the event.
Any questions from the commissioners?
This is
Yes,
just, this is one day on Saturday, July 30.
July 30th.
Right, okay.
It's
Right
a
now-
Sunday afternoon.
Right, so has it been determined
Sunday.
where the alcohol is gonna be served at the park?
Chris, you want to speak to the plan that was presented to the Parks Department? And I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to share the actual layout with the commission, but maybe a verbal presentation would be at least helpful to them.
Sure. So as you walk up to the entrance of the grandstands, to the right-hand side, there's a little half wall and there's a grass area beyond first base. That will actually be stanchioned off, and that is where fans would actually purchase the beer and wine. And then the consumption is pretty much that space and the inside of the grandstands, which is all confined.
And it's going to be roped off just like the other loophole.
That's correct.
Okay.
And then because again, the goal is to basically, there's not a lot of area to bring lawn chairs. I'm sure people will. But just because of foul balls, and the goal is to direct traffic to sit inside those grandstands, and that's really where the consumption would be confined to.
Okay.
We will have Palazzo Cafe, who has the Forest Park license for food, so she would have non-alcoholic beverages as well. But those are more cans and bottles. They wouldn't be like open cups.
Will they be in the same area as you or on the other side of the Walker Stadium?
They're either going to be on the other side by third base, or they're going to be in front of the grandstands,
Okay,
meaning on the street side.
yes. Okay.
Any other
Mine's-
questions?
I feel comfortable it being separated, not too close in the general area with the alcohol being served. And I understand it's a park, it's Forest Park, there's gonna other people there enjoying the park, walking around and stuff like that, but we don't want them to be served and be walking around the park with a can or a bottle in their hand.
Right.
coming
did a-
from there.
We did a walkthrough 3 weeks ago with the Parks Department, and it was decided that the two entities needed to be separate just for multiple reasons. Especially with, the reason you just brought up right there.
Okay. I'm good.
So Louisa is going to be serving beverages in bottles and or cans. And you are going to be serving beverages only in cups?
Correct, 100% plastic cups. And I can also confirm that with Louisa, that if she does pour into a cup, that cup color does not conflict with the cup color that White Lion would be pouring out of for wine and beer.
Okay.
Good
So-
idea.
So they purchased their beer in this area on the ground, and they either can consume it there or they can go up into the stands with it,
That's correct.
but they can't leave that area with it. And someone is
Correct.
going to prevent that from happening.
That's correct.
And you have tip certified people checking IDs. And did you say wristbands as well?
Yes, we carry wristbands with us 24/7.
Okay,
Any
Right.
other questions?
no,
Okay, then I make a motion to approve the Westfield Start Fires located at 181 Notre Dame Street. Event planner Christopher Thompson, Springfield Summer Classic on July 30th, 2023, from 1:30 PM to 7 PM.
second,
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
yes,
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you and good luck. Have a good
Thank
night.
you
all
very
for your
much.
time.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
right?
Okay, next item, we're going to, discuss, final hearing for Delicia's Restaurant. We're going to, move the pre-hearing conference for Los Muchachos last per the attorney's request. Delicia's Restaurant, is anybody here for Delicia's?
Chair Espinosa, I don't know if anyone is here or not, but we are asking that this matter be continued to their next meeting to allow some more time to prepare. I believe that's why they're not here today.
Okay, our next meeting on July 12th.
July 12th.
Chair Espinosa, that's the request.
Okay, then I make a motion to continue the final hearing for Delicia's Restaurant and Catering Corporation, DBA Cons Food and Drink, located at 1333 Boston Road. Derek Crespo, Manager of Record. Incident of May 14th, 2023. Number one, failure to abide by City of Springfield noise ordinance, and number two, offering outdoor entertainment without proper licensing. There a
Second.
second? Okay, Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes,
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay. We have a pre-hearing conference for Los Muchachos. Is everyone?
Steve Riley's here.
Oh, okay,
Steve Riley for Los Muchachos, and I have Darlene Soriano from Los Muchachos. We also have a interpreter as well.
okay, if you give me a second. So next item is Los Muchachos Bar and Restaurant LLC, DBA Los Muchachos Bar and Restaurant located at 436 Boston Road, Suite B. Darlene Soriano, Manager of Record, incident of April 23rd, 2023, failure to comply with conditions of a license. Okay, Attorney Poe.
As we recall, this is a matter from April 23rd, 2023. Los Muchachos Bar and Restaurant has a a BYOB license to operate. And the issue was what was going on with regards to that day on April 23rd, 2023. I think Barry from the police department is here to provide us some additional details. I'd ask the officer to do that at this time.
Basically, there was a call for service there, an ambulance assist for a female that passed out after smoking hookah. The officers responded. The officers noted, and we reviewed body worn as well. There were no tables set up for dining. There was no food present, and they were operating under their BYOB license, which states that patrons must be seated at a table when a meal being served by the license. Other than that, they denied the use of hookahs, but there were discarded hookah mouthpieces on the floor that officers noted and took pictures of. And the ambulance call there was for a female who passed out. So basically, it was the issue of not following the rules and regulations as it pertains to BYOB and allowing the use of smoking material, the hookahs, without the state permit required to do so.
Chair Espinosa, at that point, I do know the commission is familiar with the License Commission's rules with regards to BYOBs. I would refer the commission to those rules. And just as a reminder to the commission as well, the commission did have an informational hearing a few weeks ago with regards to the same incident. So this is why we are here today with the pre-hearing conference at this time.
Okay, any questions from the commissioners?
So this is for a violation of this BYOB. What was the period that this BYOB license covers? Is it for the rest of calendar year 2023?
Can I just ask one clarifying question? When was the license issued? My understanding is there wasn't a license issued yet, that they applied for a BYOB, but there was not a license that's been issued yet. So I guess when was the license issued? Or do you have a copy of it?
Give me one moment. I'll just.
I'm gonna try to check myself too. So I see the application for BYOB, but I don't think they actually received the BYOB.
Barry, was there a BYOB license present when you got there? Or when the police got there?
I don't believe so. So
Oh.
they had applied for the BYOB, and they also had applied for one-day permits that were not signed off on. When I requested all of their licenses, what I received was their restaurant, the common vic license. I received what looks like an application for BYOB. And honestly, I've never seen a BYOB permit, so I'm not sure what the licensing department issues for those, because I've never seen one. And then I also got their entertainment licenses. So what I received is what I believe Attorney Riley probably received also, which is that one-page application for BYOB, and I don't even believe that it's
There's not a
dated.
date. Yeah.
There's not.
It might be a moot point. I think I can kind of summarize a lot of, I think, what went on here. As I mentioned, I have Darlin Soriano on the phone, and his English is very limited. So we do have an interpreter. I think Virginia should also be on the line. So she's able to help. I think the misunderstanding is I don't think he didn't have legal counsel. I don't think he knew what he was really needing to apply for. And I think thought that by applying for the BYOB and the one day that he was doing the right thing. There's no disputing the facts that are in the report. I think it's a well done and accurate report. I don't think there was a BYOB license that was approved as of that date. So there's not a license to take action against, but you know, we certainly, I've explained to them kind of the issues around all this and said, you know, look, if you want to operate your business with alcohol for sales, you need to have an annual license. You can't apply for 1 days. If you don't have a BYOB permit yet, you can't allow anybody to bring in alcohol to the premises. And so I think they have a better understanding of that now. And the way that they're operating now is under the common vic license, which is just food only. BYOB can't be brought in because our understanding is that hasn't been approved. No alcohol can be sold there. Any of the advertisement type of stuff that they had for this event obviously is not permissible. I've explained that to them now. And that's part of the reason they have retained me. So the plan is going to be to file properly for an annual license application with the license commission in short term. And in the meantime, they're going to operate as common vic only, no BYOB brought on the premises. I don't even think they want that at this point after my discussion with them. So I don't think they're even looking to have that BYOB approved. They just don't basically after this incident, they don't want to have any alcohol on there at all until they have a liquor license approved. So I think a lot of this boils down to an applicant that didn't know what to apply for, didn't have counsel, has some language barriers. And, you know, now they brought me in to get all this straightened out. And that's what the intention is. So I hope that kind of clarifies a little bit of the situation.
It does a little bit, but have you talked to Mr. Soriano about, you know, what it means to have a license? Because even when he applied, you know, and he didn't receive the license, he decided that he was going to run this place the way he thought he should be running it. When he was talking to us, he, you know, like you said, he had no idea what he was doing. You know, he didn't understand what a BYOB was, you know, and the fact that, you know, he needed these licenses.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% correct. All those statements are correct. And you know, again, I think it boils down to not many licensees know themselves what they need to apply for. Most of them have legal counsel. And I think most of them that try to apply without legal counsel don't do it successfully. And I think layered on top of that here, you have a business operator that also has obstacles in terms of English. So I think that's led to additional, and I don't think he's sought the support he should have to kind of educate him on what this is and what he needs to do. But now he has, and that's why I'm here. And certainly I've explained all that to him. We'll continue to do that. And there'll be more education in that as we actually apply for the license. So I think he's now understanding sort of the gravity of this and the significance of it.
Right. Hopefully he understands you know, it's a big responsibility to have an alcohol, whether a BYOB or an all alcohol license. It's a big responsibility. He needs to understand that anything that happens, you know, if he is the manager of record, he will answer to the board. You know, so definitely, I mean, when he applies, he'll have to come back and we'll talk a little bit more about, you know, what his responsibilities are going to be. But I suggest that conversation is had before that time, so he understands what is expected of him.
Yep. And we've had that conversation and we'll continue to have it. You know, we've had it multiple times prior to this hearing. And now the plan being to put together a full license application, which is not an easy undertaking. Especially for a new license, he's going to need to go to the neighborhood council and do all those kind of things, the planning board. So there's a lot involved in that, and I think he understands that better. And you know, I'm here to kind of help navigate that for him.
Was this the licensee that was, or was this they're not a licensee yet, who they were charging a cover charge to people and who were bringing in their own alcohol, and then there was hookah on top of it. Steve, it was chaos.
Oh yeah, and we don't dispute what's in the factual record, and you're correct, Peter, and really, you know, it's a huge miss, and I just think really no understanding of the significance of what he was doing at that point. But I think now he does. And, I think this is a person that wants to do the right thing, wants to have a good business in the city. That's why they're paying me to get involved in the case. So I can explain to him what those responsibilities are. So, all I can say is that the intentions weren't bad. I think it's just a complete lack of understanding of what licensing is required to actually do these kind of things.
Probably the most complete misunderstanding that I've seen in 21 years.
I mean, I was only here for about 7 or 8 of those, Peter, and I would say, yeah, at least the 7 or 8 I was there. Yeah, I agree.
So he's just going to run a restaurant now. He has a common vic license. And no
Yes.
more cover charges, no more hookah, and no BYOB until you counsel him.
Until we get proper licenses for all that stuff. And some of that stuff you can't get licenses for. So I've explained that too.
Okay, well, I think he's in very good hands now.
I appreciate that. I'm also impressed by the speed of this meeting. We didn't used to get them done that quickly when I was involved. I'll take the blame for that.
Any other questions or comments from the commissioners?
Well, this is a pre-hearing conference. I'm wondering how we dispose of this now.
Right.
My suggestion would be to continue generally and allow us to apply for licensing. I mean, there's no license to take action against anyway, other than, I guess, to deny the BYOB. But my suggestion would be to continue generally, and kind of we can resume some of these discussions about responsibility and all that sort of stuff when the application comes up.
Attorney Poe, do you confer?
Well, I've been searching and the system is very slow, as you know, for just to figure out what we have issued. It does not appear that there's a license to do anything against or take action against at this point. So I think continuing it generally may make sense at this point and allow them to try to get in good standing.
I make a motion then to continue this issue generally.
Second. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes,
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again once the paperwork is done. Only to apply for the license.
right. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Have a good
Have a
night.
good night. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Bye.
I mean, and moving forward, how do we make sure that something like this doesn't happen again? Because it seems as though there was a lack of communication, there was a breakdown there. Yeah.
I think, I mean, with the fact that the application is being changed and now they will have to come in front of the commission, I think that's what we spoke about. I think maybe that's a way, that's a start. I don't know, Attorney Paul, what do you think?
I'm just thinking that maybe some kind of communication should be shared from the licensing department. Maybe even just verbally, just letting them know what they're, signing up for. At least they have a verbal conversation. And then if they don't read the application, again, that's their fault, but at least they've had verbal conversation. I'm just thinking something, this incident could have been could have been a bad incident.
Very bad. Yes.
They don't have any kind of violation or anything.
You know what, I will double check with Anna and Edna in the morning and make sure that we are conveying that. Again, we have 3 licenses for BYOB. I think once they realized that they really did not want this, or they gotten into or something, they just realized they had applied for something that they didn't really want. So all of a sudden it was not a priority for them. So I think what we'll do is fix the application process, and also, maybe a handout or something so that they understand
Right.
what their expectations are.
Well, I thought one of the changes we were making to the BYOB process is that they have to appear before the commission so we can talk with them and make sure
Correct.
we know what they're doing, right? So
Correct. But I-
that's one big change.
Right.
Yeah,
They should understand that applying doesn't mean that they already have the license.
Right.
Okay, okay, so let's move on to the administrative review of incident reports.
I have a question.
Yes,
BYOB license. No, I don't have a question. Because the person's bringing their own. Okay, never mind. Move on. Thank you.
okay, first incident report is O'Brien's Corner for incident of May 13th, 2023. Did everyone have an opportunity to review the report?
Yes.
Okay, any suggestions?
I think
Action, no
I think it's
action.
interesting they left O'Brien Corners and went to the Boulevard. So they didn't exactly go home.
True.
I looked up 644 Page Boulevard because I think I recognize that address. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no,
I didn't do that. I didn't look up
Yeah.
the address.
664 Page. That was familiar. Oh, yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Oh,
So they went
boy.
from one bar to another. They were so traumatized.
Right. Okay, is there a motion for O'Brien?
I make a motion for what do we say?
No action.
No action. Take no action.
There a second?
Second,
Okay, Commissioner Cade,
yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, second incident is Patty's Irish Pub for incident of June 1st, 2023. Spilled drink. Did everyone have an opportunity to review the report?
Yes. Another first.
Right.
A patron wanting to clean up his own mess.
Mhm. And then leaving before the police are
But
arriving.
they called the police, as they should.
Right,
I make a motion to take no action.
okay. Is there a second?
Second,
Commissioner Cade,
yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. I
Okay.
think that is all for today. Okay, if there's nothing else, then I'll make a motion to adjourn at 6:50, what is it, 6:09?
So now,
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Cade,
yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Well, thank you, everyone.